Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander, National Sales Manager for Bona Adhesives.
And I'm Rob Johnson from Bona Training.
Yes, sir, Rob. I saw you all last week, which is unusual.
Yes.
Yes.
And I even saw you a little bit this week.
Yeah. We're going to talk today about that. We talked about this a little bit before, but we're going to go into more detail about our Nashville Regional Training Center and some of the perks of attending that place. But I have to say, you and I don't get down very often. I mean, we're pretty positive people. But I think last week was one of the worst weeks I've had in years. And we had to put my mother-in-law in the Alzheimer's place. She's 92 years old. We thought that she could live out her life in her house, but not so much. So we had to put her in a care facility. And the day before, my sister-in-law and I and my brother-in-law, we moved some of her furniture in the room so she would recognize, some pictures on the wall or what have you. And so she has a roommate, okay, and so we met the roommate. And the roommate, one day she told the lady she was 88 years old. One time she said so she doesn't really know how old she is. And when you walk down the hall of the rooms, like every room would have like the person's name, some pictures from, about their family or whatever. And this particular lady had no pictures whatsoever. It's blank, although she's been there for years, and no name. Okay. And when I met her, first of all, however old she is, she's a beautiful old lady. I mean, like she looked like she must have been beautiful when she was younger. You know what I mean? She had great cheekbones and blue eyes and just a great smile. You know what I mean? And so I told her.
So you thought this old lady was kind of hot?
Well, you could tell. I mean, there's some old lady. I mean,
Yeah.
You could tell sometimes that in their youth they were really attractive people.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a very small lady, but she was very attractive in her own way. And so I told her, I said, you're going to have a roommate tomorrow. We're going to bring your roommate in. And I mean, she could not have been happier. She goes, oh my God. And she lit up and she was so happy. She goes, I'm so happy. I'm going to have a roommate. I'm not going to be lonely anymore. I mean, she could not have been any happier. So I sat down on the bed and I held her hand for a minute, but she would not let my hand go the whole time I'm there. I'm talking to her, right? And I asked her, her name and stuff like that. And she doesn't recall very much about stuff. And she was the absolute sweetest. In fact, there was a time I was there. I said, it's a good thing I'm not what do you call do stuff spur of the moment because I mean, for a fraction, it crossed my mind. You know what? I'm going to grab this old lady and put her in the truck. I'll take her home to Tennessee. She can just live out the rest of her life in Tennessee. You know what I mean? I mean, she's just the sweetest little lady, and it's just a crime to leave her here. You know what I mean? Just flash through my mind just for a second. Of course, it's crazy, but
this is your mother or the hottie?
No, my mother. No, the lady that's going to live with her. So the next day, we bring my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law hasn't smiled since 1967. She's just not a happy person. She's just never, and that's just life. When she was a kid, she was put in she was in Ireland, living in the country. They were poor, and her mom, like at 8 years old, put her in a boarding school. So she lived all her life, really, like she only came home once in a while. The nuns raised her. She went to that school. It was very, very, very difficult. Although she got a great education out of it. So the next day we brought her to the room, right? So I introduced her to the roommate. So the other lady comes over to him. She goes, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. And she's caressing her hair, like her head, right? She's hugging her. Then she puts her arms around her and kisses her. My mother-in-law is not that person, right? She don't hug nobody. She'll never kissed anybody. She's just not a happy person. So this lady is hugging her and, Oh, so good to see you. This is so good. And she's crying. She's so happy. And I sit down next to my mother-in-law, and my mother-in-law looked at me, and she goes, "Who the hell is that?" So and then it was, I'm leaving. But then my sister-in-law called me like the next day, and she goes, "Hey Wayne, it's about that lady, uh, you know, uh, Peggy's roommate." I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, I went back to drop something else off, and oh my gosh, it was a completely different situation. Like she was screaming, crazy, screaming. She had already took over the other one's closet, and put all her clothes in the other one's closet, and she was like a basket case, what have you."
Who was
So
screaming? The hottie.
the other lady, yeah,
The hottie was screaming.
yeah, yeah,
So she was a lunatic.
yeah. So afterwards, she kind of, it's a good thing I wasn't, the spur of the moment. I would end up dropping her off in Colorado somewhere at a gas station. You know?
This is the woman you wanted to take home like she was a cat.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so it's too bad. I mean,
Nice.
yeah, it's I'm making fun of it, but it's a sad situation. I mean, and you realize some of these people in there ain't that old. You know what I mean? With the
Yeah.
Alzheimer's, it's a horrible, horrible disease. So yeah, one of those things you got to go through in life sometimes. But I did take down the other lady's name, Adele, or Adeilla, I think it is. Yeah, Judy's going to send her a card every day or something, just so she'll have something. She asked me where her son was at. She's asked, he never comes by, and I said, well, the traffic is just terrible. Nobody's going anywhere. The traffic is just terrible. So
Now,
yeah,
where was your mother-in-law before this?
in San Leandro, California.
I mean, who was she staying with?
She lived by her husband passed away actually fairly young. He was in great shape, but he had an aneurysm and died when he was like 68. And so she lived by herself after that. And towards the end, we had caretakers come in, including one that fleeced her every day out of $300. Drove her to
Oh,
the ATM every day. Every day took her to the ATM, and then all her nice clothes were all gone. And then moved in. Then moved all her clothes into the bedroom upstairs. Filled the closet full of all her clothes and everything. Well, there's a lot. They do that. You can't get them out.
yeah.
So thank God
Like a,
I'll tell you,
like a tick.
you got to watch the old folks, man. I mean, so anyhow, long story, but
Well,
is what it
sometimes
is.
it works. I think sometimes it might even work for the better. And nobody wants to do that, but put my mother-in-law in one about 6 months ago, maybe. And before she was living with another family member who wasn't really, geez, I don't know how to say this. I know people listen here, but didn't have the eye on the ball, so it wasn't like she was eating right or drinking right. Half of it is just these old folks just getting enough water. Most of the time they're semi dehydrated. Well, man, since she's been in there, she's getting 3 squares, plenty of water. It's amazing the improvement
Yeah,
that's happened with her, because now, plus in the place she's at, I wouldn't mind living there. It's nice.
yeah,
Arts and crafts. You walk
yeah,
down,
yeah, yeah.
you got your own little room. It's like a nice hotel room. Yeah, I
You
say
can,
that. And my kids are like, you ain't gonna stay at a place like that.
yeah, yeah,
We're not putting you in a place like that.
yeah. You can
That
start
was my
taking.
mother-in-law. Now, we also years ago, we had to put my grandmother in a place like that. And the same thing, once she was in there and started to eat right, exercise, get plenty of fluids and everything. So one day I went over to visit her and I was like, no, how's it going? She's like, it's going great. She said, it is going great. I said, that's awesome. She looks at me and she goes, Robbie, I don't even know why I'm in here. So I said, no, what'd you have for breakfast? And this was probably around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, what'd you have for breakfast today? She's thinking. She goes, I don't know. That's why you're in here.
Well,
And was Pauline pissed when I said, and I was like, I'm just trying to help her out.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
all. She was wondering why.
Well, if that's the criteria, I'm a little scared right now.
Yeah, that's right. You and I should
But
both be in there.
there was an old man, and I say an old man, the dude was not much older than me, but he came over to me and he had a big box of chocolate with him. And he said, "Hey, these are for you. I want you to have these." And I said, "No, no, no, no. That no. You keep those yourself." He goes, "No, no. These are for you. You're the guy. I want these to go to you." I said, "No, really. It's you just keep them. I already ate." He goes, "No, I insist. You take these." I said, "All right, thank you." So I took the big box of chocolate. I opened it up there, and it's completely empty. And like that's something I would do to somebody today, with my most of my marbles. But
Oh, you made his day, man.
yeah,
You made his
yeah,
day.
yeah,
Oh, he loved it. How
yeah.
happy was he when you saw? Did he see that?
Oh no, no emotion, no.
Mm.
But I gotta say, this is let me look at this text from Sean James. Sean James said, "Hey, you're in California. You know, too bad you didn't get a combined chance to see me." And I told him, I said, "Hey, man, this wasn't that type of trip. I was in and out, uh, and I explained the situation." He says, and I'm going to read this text. "It's really hard to watch people deteriorate, but I don't have to tell you. You see Rob every week."
That's why I never go to California. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
That's why I never go to California. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that.
But where I'm making light of a situation. It's actually very sad. It bummed me out.
Don't
Because,
you know what? Don't think of it as sad. Like I said, I saw people go in there and their life got better.
yeah.
You know,
First of
and
all,
and you know, I know it sounds terrible to say something like that, but
yeah.
you know,
Well, that's what we're hoping. She's 92 years old. We're hoping that she does like activity and other people and stuff like that. We're hoping that that will. And so the lady said so far she's doing fine. She sometimes tells she said wants to go home, but they can redirect her, and then she's fine once they redirect her. So,
I
well,
wouldn't mind if you guys put a camera in a room though. I mean, if those two old gals started battling it out, that could be pretty funny.
yeah.
You know, see a couple old ladies wailing on each other over closet space.
Wow, you are one sick puppy.
Come on, that
No,
that
yeah,
would be funny.
yeah, yeah. All right.
You know, we celebrated my at the place where my grandmother was. We all went over, had her birthday party there, and she kept saying, "Oh, wait do you see my friend, my friend?" You know, and she's talking about her friend, her friend. Well, it's a guy. That's what she was talking. You know, this
Oh
guy.
wow,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
nice.
Yeah. He comes in with a with an old broad on each arm. This
Wow,
guy is like, yeah,
Casanova
he's
there.
got like a harem going.
Mm,
Sits down with her, Phyllis, hey, and he's got the other two. I was like, wow, this guy is this guy's making it happen.
that might be the move.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. I had a different plan. When I got older, I was going to tell people at the local church that I was filthy rich, and I was going to donate it to the church when I go because I don't have kids. So they'd like treat me like royalty for a while. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah,
a bad move either.
yeah.
Yeah. So, all right.
Just another public service announcement.
Mhm. So,
Well, saw
Lee,
you in Nashville. We had our first school in Nashville.
yep.
I called it like a soft opening for a restaurant.
Mhm.
Um, had a few students there. Wasn't a full slate, but we just wanted to really, you know, we wanted to do a school as soon as we could once we got the place renovated and up and going. And I don't think it could have gone any better. I mean, Jeremiah Strong, the territory manager for that area, I gotta give him his props. I mean, and I know Mike Dittmer went in, also helped a lot. Robbie Smith, he went in and helped, but Jeremiah's really been on the forefront of this, and um, I just couldn't have been happier. I mean, everything about this place was just fantastic.
You know why I want to talk about this? And I will say this episode is completely for my own selfish reasons. Um, I love Nashville and I love to show it off. If you haven't been in Nashville, holy smokes. I mean, it's like Las Vegas was years ago. It's a great destination area. And the amount of restaurants there, I mean, this is a place you bring your wife, you bring your kids maybe, or you just spend the weekend, you spend a couple days, you come down, you do some training. Gosh, even the restaurant, we go to an Irish bar, me and you, every time we get, it's funny, it's never planned out this way, but every time we go there, there's an Irish bar we go to. I can't even remember the name. Do you know the name of it?
Um,
Right.
McLaughlin's.
You're,
I know it's
you're,
McGregor's.
you're going to be escorting a couple broads around in that Alzheimer's place before you know it. Couple broads. Help.
Now you're
But
talking like me.
yeah, it is. That's not my style. So I don't know the name of it, but holy smokes, the great Irish bands that they have in there, and the Irish food, and just it's just so I've been in many pubs in Ireland when I was a kid growing up, but and it reminded me of living back in Ireland, and I love the Irish music, man. I don't care what kind of music you listen to. I mean, if you have any soul at all, you just like good music. So I love showing off Nashville. It's my second home and I absolutely love it. It's a freaking great time, man. And I, for my selfish reasons, would love for people to come to the school because I like going down there. It gives me a chance to see the guys and go out in the evenings and do something and go take people out. I have one particular bar, and I say I go to bar. I'm not. Anybody knows me knows I'm not much of a drinker. But is a bar I go to that I absolutely think is the best bar in America, and I want people to come down there and enjoy the experience like I enjoy the experience. And Jeremiah, as you said, Jeremiah Strong, absolutely flat out knocked it out of the park.
He
When the
nailed
pump
it, man.
yeah,
He nailed it. I'm
yeah,
telling you, he absolutely nailed it. The colors, the painting and stuff that he picked, the colors that he picked out,
yeah.
um
The
just
location,
all the work, the location that he did,
yeah,
uh, the floors that he laid. We've had that building is, I think it's close to 3,000 feet,
hmm.
and I would
Did,
say 2,000. We have 2,000 feet of wood flooring in that facility to work on.
did you
We
hear my?
are, I mean, the things that we're going to be able to do in that school, whether it's recoat systems, whether it's power scrubber, install schools, sports schools. We're even looking at in the back room there, that very back room. The next phase, we're going to be putting up a hoop and kind of like a half court. Well, not really a half court, but a key type situation. Man, this is just going to be. I would. I don't see anybody else ever having a training center like we're going to have there.
No. And did you hear my first comment when I walked in and I looked down the floor? I thought it was a pre-finished floor.
You thought it was pre-finished,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They're
Yeah.
perfect. I mean, they
Right off the bat, you walk in and there's a frost craft oil on a white oak. It's sharp looking. It feels
yeah.
good. That
Mhm.
goes right through the whole thing into the classroom. And we'll always be able to. The thing I love about that is now when people are talking about craft oil, we can show them, hey, look
Yeah.
at the, chairs moving in and out.
Mhm.
This is how the stuff wears. But we're also be able to teach people on how to proper maintenance, proper care, cleaning
Yeah.
of it, re-oiling.
Mhm.
But then the panels that we have, the panels that we sanded, I was happy that we put some herringbone in because, herringbones, boy, has that made a comeback. I mean, it's like everything on Instagram now is all herringbone. And, herringbone's a coating nightmare. This class kicked it out of the park, man. I mean, just really hit that herringbone out of the park. We were rolling Nordic on that herringbone, rolling natural seal. I mean, it was, I know it's going to sound corny, but it was very exciting. It was really exciting, especially with the soft opening type of a thing. You're kind of always nervous. Power, power with these schools is everything. And I think at one point We had 4 big machines going, 4 vacs, edgers. Jeremiah and I were running equipment while the students were running equipment just to see how, all the power we wanted, because I know we're going to have some big schools there. I mean, now that COVID is, looks like COVID's kind of putting on the back burner. People are starting to come out. I even heard that the masks might be lifted on airplanes in a few weeks. So
That would be
I
nice.
think we can get back to having, the bigger, larger size schools. And that's what it was funny because Jeremiah, Danny from tech and training, Danny came in, help out with that school. And I caught him one day after everybody left. They were arranging tables, and Jeremiah said, I think we can get about 30 people in the classroom and it would be comfortable. So I think everybody's just really excited about what we're going to be able to do at this training center. But that's why I wanted to have you come on and talk about it. I mean, the nuts and bolts of the training center, amazing. Another great thing about the training center too is how quiet the front office area and the classroom was while all the equipment can be running. So we can do multiple things. You can have meetings. We can do more classwork while people are out working. And it was amazing. It was almost like they had worked the sound on purpose. But boy, did we fall ass backwards into that one, because that's what was blowing us away. I mean, we were just, this is so amazing that I don't even think we've had it at some of the other training centers. But the reason I wanted to have you on was not only is the facility amazing, but of everybody I know, you're Mr. Nashville.
Mhm.
You
I
are
lo-
Mr. Nashville. I mean, I started the first time I was in Nashville, you were showing me around, and like you said, what a destination. I just can't wait for guys to say, guys from Boston or wherever saying, hey, let's go to Nashville. We'll do a school. It's a write-off because we are doing a school, but
Mhm.
you can have some good times with your guys.
Yeah, I almost feel a little bit guilty because we got some other great training places too. I know that. But like I said, this one's personal to me because I absolutely love the town. I love showing it off. I think there's so much there to have fun with, and the great restaurants there now, and the weather's usually great. So I just think it's a kind of a neat destination area, and I can't wait to go down there and spend a little bit more time down there. I always went to and looked at all the schedules. So yeah, if you want to bring your employees down, come down, spend a few days, and the schools are a great time. We ever always take everybody out to eat, and it's a fantastic time in itself, regardless of the location. But this one, and like I said, and this is a first class facility now, and we had a place in Nashville. Thank you to Mike Betts, who was so kind to us, one of our great customers down there that allowed us to have a place at his location. Now moved it over to the other side of town a few miles, and it's exactly what we want and need. And we outgrew the other place, and I just, like I said, I can't say enough about it. So yeah, I'm excited about it, Rob. I think it's going to be great for us. I would love to see it fill up. Yeah, but just because I know guys are going to love it. I know guys are going to, if you haven't been in Nashville, even if you have been, it's timeless. It's always a good time downtown. So yeah, love to
What
see
what
guys.
was your favorite bar? You said, oh, my favorite bar is in Nashville. Which one was that?
My favorite bar is Roberts. Here's what okay, so I'm going to tell you what I normally do if I go to school in Nashville. So if we take customers out on a Thursday, for instance, like I'll take you anywhere you want to go. Like if you want to go to all these other bars, I'm in. We'll go, and I think you should go see them all. Spend it, it's a great walking town. Spend an hour in it or half hour in this bar, go to the bar next door. Right when you think this is the best country band I've ever seen live, just go to the bar next door. And you think, maybe a little different twist on country music, go to the bar next door. There's so many of them to choose from. So I'll do that on a Friday night. Also, you could go if you love blues music or jazz, you go down to Printer's Alley, and great bars down there. And I'm along for the ride. I mean, we want to do that. But Friday night is my night. If you want to see me, I'm going to be at Roberts. And I want that bar, and I got a certain table at that bar. And I've seen the band play probably 40 times. It's so embarrassing. If they change the song in the set, I know they changed the song in the set. If they add a new song, I know they've added a new song. My wife thinks she goes, wait, you've seen these guys so much. But for me, it's heaven. It's that old 1960s, 70s, that old, really good country music. Look, I like all kinds of music. Everybody knows that about me. But when it comes to country music, I'm very particular. I love the old South. So it may not be for everybody. So that's why I tell everybody on Friday night, I'm going to be at this place at this time. You can join me. I'd love to have you. If not, go knock yourself out and go to all the other places in town and do that. But that is, for me, is heaven. Jeff
Isn't
Rose.
that right next door to the barbecue joint?
Yes, next to Jack's.
Jack's
Yeah.
Barbecue. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's, I know we brought tons of students there. Always great food there too, and just
Jeff Rose from Mansion Hill Custom Floors is a great friend of mine. And he and I, if he's in Nashville and I'm in Nashville at the same time, we always meet at Robert's. We always have a fried bologna sandwich and listen to that band. No matter where we are in the world, if we are there at the same time, I've probably been down there 15 times with them. And so
what's
yeah.
the bar across the street, maybe down a block or two, heading down, and it's got 3 floors. I've been there many a night.
Yeah. Oh, I can pick. It's right on the corner there.
It's right on the corner.
I can.
Man, I can't think of the name of it, but it's got 3 floors.
Yeah.
It was funny
Yeah.
you said
Gosh,
about the different music, because that's what I loved about that bar, and I can't think of the damn name of it.
I can see
But
it.
on the first floor, one night I was in there, the first floor, they had a rock band going.
Yeah.
And then we went to the second floor and they had a country band going. And then at the top floor, they had a blues band going.
Yeah.
All the same night. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is
Well,
absolutely unbelievable.
I mean, now Kid Rock's got a bar there. Blake Shelton's got a bar there. There's so many people that have bars down now that have multiple floors. That it's crazy. It's a fun town. There's just no way around
And
it.
you know something? Out of all, and we all know Pauline. She's not a big partier, right? We all know she's not into the bar scene. She goes out. When we're in Nashville, she does go out.
Nice.
And we learned it from you and your brothers, how to do these bars. I taught her what you taught me.
There you go. Yeah.
You just go in, you have a beer, you listen to the music. Then you get out, go down to the next bar, walk in, and like you told me, make sure that you tip. That's what blew me away too, was all of these people are playing for free in all these bars. The music, it was incredible. And that's what we did one night with Pauline. We probably went to 3 or 4 places, had 3 or 4 drinks, and then when we really found somebody that we liked, we hung out for a while, and just a great time. My gosh, we just had so much fun. So I'm like, if Pauline can go out in a town like this, boy, anybody, bring your spouse, because you're just gonna have a lot of fun.
Great restaurants. I mean, even if you like bluegrass music at all, on a Sunday, there's some great restaurants out in the area. Phenomenal restaurants. You should check out the restaurants, and don't miss an opportunity to go to someone that's very unique. And if you got kids, great place for taking the kids out the following day and everything. So yeah, that's all. I just wanted to say. I mean, I like I said, all the RTCs are great in their own way. This one to me is a little bit more personal because I love Nashville so much. So yeah, look at the training schedule. If you have an opportunity to bring your guys down or get down there yourself, you always come away with some great information.
You don't just have to check the training schedule either. That's the
good.
great part of our training centers, is they're always open. They're always open. If you want to bring your crew down, train individual crews, we're there for you. We'll open these things up. I mean, that's really what we want out of the training centers. Yeah, we have some schools that, are on the calendar and everything, but the real use for our training centers comes with individual companies just wanting to grow and learn more. And, I've said this 1,000 times on the show, but we want you guys to treat our training centers like a batting cage or a golf range or something, where you're just going to come in and practice stuff and work on your swing. The other thing we tell everybody, somebody comes to you with something you've never done before. Somebody says, you know what, I want my floors wire brushed. Well, don't experiment on their floors. Come to our training center. You know, come learn, get your battle plan at our training center, get out to the job site, and you're going to look like a champ.
You know, I learned something. I was around Michael Dittmer, or one of our new Bona trainers. And in a couple of days, I learned like 3 things of him that I didn't know. And that's the knowledge. I've been around you so much. I'd be like, I could do your act. But I haven't been around Michael to see, listen to him. And one thing that I'll say, and I'm not saying you should run out and do this, okay? Because I don't know. We did this on a panel. It worked on a panel, but I'm not giving my blessing to go out and do it. But I'll tell you what it was. I thought it was very interesting. We needed maple wood filler, and we didn't have any. We had oak wood filler. And in a pinch, he said, you know what, let's try this. And he took Nordic seal and mixed the Nordic seal in with the white oak filler. And I'll be doggone, man, it lightened it up tremendously and looked fantastic with the maple. Now, like I said, I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean? I almost hate saying it because we don't want to have everybody practice on something, but in a pinch, we needed it and it worked fantastic. So I would have never thought. So anyhow.
I love Mike. It's been great working with him and everything, but I'm definitely starting to get the Jan Brady syndrome. Dittmer. It's all I hear now. Dittmer. Right? I've turned into Jan Brady.
No, listen. Like I said, I prefaced that when I've been around you so long. So no, you shouldn't get that at all. Is what it is.
No, man. I mean, when you add somebody like Dittmer to the team, it's just good for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, Bona training was fantastic, and now you throw a guy like Dittmer into the fold. I mean,
yeah,
man, people just had to be like, oh my God, just when you think they couldn't erase their game anymore, they throw Dittmer in, they throw the new place in Nashville in. But man, when I walked through the door at that Nashville thing, the Nashville Training Center on Monday night, when I got there, I was just so impressed with how quick that Jeremiah put that together, and for a good soft opening for that first training, that's what Jeremiah we're high-fiving. That we were just so happy that, man, the power's good. Everything just clicked, and so we just know that it's just going to get even better from here.
Michael and I talk all the time now.
Oh, I bet you do.
Yeah.
Don't you, Michael?
Yeah.
Dittmer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I noticed you haven't been calling me lately. I was wondering what's going on.
He's such an interesting guy. Likes the same music as I do.
Some great stories.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Gosh, what a guy.
Yeah. You know what else is crazy about Nashville? Not to keep yammering on about Nashville, but that Irish restaurant that you and I have been to, I don't know how many times, always feels to me, with that Irish music in the back, it always feels to me like we're in a scene of a movie.
Yeah.
Good food, great music. Just an awesome place. But the thing that always I thought was crazy is it's Irish music in the middle of Music City, Nashville, right? Blues, rock.
Yeah.
And then you get the Irish music going on there.
McNamara's.
I knew it was Mac something.
Yeah.
And the other thing, when you fly into Nashville, I flew into Nashville Monday. There was 3 live music acts as I was walking through the airport. Live music.
Before you even get to
at the airport. The
cool.
town is just nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be I think it's going to be our coolest destination place.
All right. Good deal. All right, Rob, we should wrap it up. But anybody plans on going, let me know if you're going to go. I can't make all the schools, but I would love to go down when you guys are there. And like I said, I'll try to catch as many as I can. I know Rob will be at all of them.
If you're lucky, maybe Dittmer will be there.
Yeah, we'll try to get him. Oh, if Mike's going, I'm sure going to go. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, and I appreciate it. And we look forward to our next episode next week. And please stay tuned for another episode.